Welcome to SEC Network Basketball. Tonight, we're at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville for a matchup between the North Florida Ospreys and the Florida Gators. With the former Auburn great Damian Fishback, I'm Taylor Zarzour. Gators have had an up and down season, Damian. Literally 3 wins, 3 losses, still searching for their offensive identity.
Yeah, they truly are, Taylor. Listen, but they've been playing against quality teams, quite frankly. Florida State, the only team that stopped Florida State are the previous national championships in Jay Wright. Florida State, so much length. And then the next game, they've got Lon Kruger, the former Florida coach, against Oklahoma, come up a tad bit short. Then they get it going a little bit against Stanford and able to get a win, 72 points. And now they're back home, and they're hoping their defense will actually carry them. First in points per game allowed in the SEC, and first in defensive efficiency. Their defense has held them up to this point. They're hoping to get both defense and offense going tonight.
Noah Horchler and Kavarius Hayes get us going in Gainesville. North Florida has never beaten the Gators. This is the 8th meeting they have played each of the 4 seasons. And Mike White has been the head coach here for the Gators. UNF out of the Atlantic Sun. Horchler's been their best contributor. Rock solid. He throws it into the paint, and Aminu is blocked immediately, and here come the Gators.
Yeah, Hayes has got an incredible motor, and this is what the Gators want to do. They want to try to get up and down more tonight, Taylor.
Missed shot by Noah Locke, getting his 3rd consecutive start. Jalen Hudson now coming off the bench after leading the Gators in scoring last season. Sam's trapped in the corner, dishes it out to JT Escobar, who hit 8 threes the last time out against Jacksonville State. He gets the first shot of the game.
Yeah, Taylor, the Ole Miss transfer is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
But on the other end, it's Locke answering. Tie game.
Like this tempo for both teams right now. They want to get up and down, try to score early in the shot clock. If the defense is set, though, they'll take their time.
How about this pull from deep? That's Ivan Gande-Arosa, and it's off the mark.
You'll like him, Taylor. Tremendous point guard, really shares the basketball extremely well.
That R roll, Arosa. I know you love it.
I wasn't even going to try.
Nembhard with the pass inside, but then it's Keith Stone who throws it away. Mike White, 72 and 40 now in his 4th season as the head coach here in Gainesville. NCAA tournament trips each of the last 2 years, of course, went to the Elite 8 in 2017.
Yeah, he's the right man for the job, Taylor. A combination of a little Lon Kruger in him and a little Billy Donovan from a skill set, from a character, from expectations. He brings his lunch pail to the table every game and is a blue-collar worker. They love him here in Florida.
Yeah, he has gained everybody's respect, media included. Blocked inside as Kavarius Hayes blocks Aminu. That's his 2nd block already. Florida back on offense. Allen has a path to the basket, dishes it off, and inside the shot too strong by Hayes. Rebounded, though, by Stone, and he kicks it out. Hudson, the extra pass. And now another extra pass to Allen in the corner is no good, but another rebound keeps the ball alive for Florida. Nembhard got trapped there. And it's off the mark by Jalen Hudson after he quickly enters the game. Matthew Driscoll, 149 and 154 in 10 seasons as the head coach at UNF. Went to the NCAA tournament 3 years ago and won the Atlantic Sun in 2015 and 16.
Well, you will not find a more competitive coach in the country. Matt Driscoll not only is competitive with his team, but is leads by example. Actually brought a couple of players late to practice, drove himself late last night to Gainesville.
Sams with an off-balance shot that is too strong, and we're tied at 3 minutes in.
And you'll see a 2-3 zone, of course, by North Florida. They've struggled some defensively as well, and they've changed defenses, and it's really helped them out in the last few games.
Stone turns it over. Gande-Arosa cannot finish it, and it's cleared by the Gators again. And this is Jalen Hudson passing it inside. Hayes is good. 5-3 Florida.
one of the, really the only big man that you can expect to play so many minutes. Right now, he's kind of carrying Florida's front line.
Tough move by Ivan Ganderosa, the junior from Puerto Rico, transfer from College of Central Florida, ties it up.
Ivan Ganderosa actually had an exceptional game against Wright State and then went and struggled a little bit at Cancun, Coach Driscoll told us, but he'll continue to pick it up as this game goes along.
15:59 to go in the first half. Florida trying to find their offensive identity. Glad to be with you in Gainesville tonight with this former Auburn great Damian Fishback. I'm Taylor Zarzour, and Fish, I tell you, the Florida fans are wondering what has happened to Jalen Hudson so far this season. With Allen and Hudson together, they're trying to find some scoring.
But Taylor, before we get into that, you don't look like yourself tonight. Did you do a 5-hour game or something?
I may have been in College Station a little too long on Saturday. Yeah, here we go.
I mean, what was happening in this game?
There's the last play that was about 12:30 on Saturday, or I guess Sunday morning. Yeah, Fish is carrying me tonight.
Back to what you were saying, yeah. But they have had some struggles, and one of the reasons Florida's had some struggles is Jalen Hudson. And of course, when you look at Jalen Hudson, he's one of the leading seniors that they expected to do the most, right? But he's not alone. Kayvon Allen is another guy who was all SEC team, and you see the difference in their scoring, Taylor. Look, 2017-18 collectively 21 and 13 per game versus 18-19. It just has not been there. In order for them to find that offense that they're searching for, I believe those two cogs have to be factors for the Florida Gators.
DeAndre Ballard has been the leading scorer as he's in the game, and as a quick throw inside to Keontae Johnson, also off the bench, and the freshman with the finish gives the Gators the lead. But mentioning Ballard, Ballard's the only guy in double figures so far this season.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and Coach Mike White, he doesn't have time to wait on the seniors to get it. They have to find their own way via practice and via the games. I think they'll do it, though.
Ezekiel Balagoon got trapped down there. And it's kicked back out to Escobar, who with that first three of the game. He'll always stop and pop, and he does it again.
Sizzling hot. Listen, this North Florida team now, they've had their ups and downs, but they were in the game against Jacksonville State, who I know Coach Ray Harper's got a quality team in the game at Dayton, which we know they have 10, 12,000 at a time. They can play with anybody.
Johnson with another strong move. And these freshmen have taken over for Florida so far in November. Quickly down the floor comes North Florida, and Noah Horkler with the finish.
Well, Horkler is a guy who really shoots it well, about 38% from the three-point line, but he has a game of both inside and out, their most consistent player this year.
Underneath, now back out to Ballard, and Ballard, the sophomore from Atlanta, with his first bucket. Gators back on top and trapping quarter court. In the corner, it's Carter Hendrickson, no good.
Well, and this is where I think Nembhard has to continue to press a little bit, try to get shots before the defense is set up.
And that's exactly what Ballard does again, 2 straight trips down the floor. Passing, and Escobar has 3 threes, 6 minutes in, and a timeout's called.
30-second timeout.
Taylor, not surprised by this timeout. We talked about Florida struggling offensively. You see Coach Mike White. We asked him, what do you want from Allen? What do you want from Hudson? He said, I just want them to play hard every single possession. That's what he's expecting from them. And a person that exemplifies that, on the other hand, you're going to see right here. Watch 1-3 in White, right? That is a senior who's exemplifying what he wants. Now, he's a different type of senior. Tavares Hayes is not a scoring big guy. You can see on that rebound there, he was looking who to pass it to. But he actually does exactly what Coach Mike White does. He wants him to play hard, run the floor every possession. rebound, block out, defend. That's what he's wanting from his other two seniors that aren't scoring. But even when they're not scoring, he says that you can get out and make sure that you play hard.
Hayes, tremendous shot blocker. But like you said, he needs to fill it up. This guy certainly is. Escobar, 8 threes in the last game against Jacksonville State. Already 3 of them in the first 6 minutes tonight. Ballard's hot too. And he answers at the other end.
I'll be intrigued to see how long North Florida stays with that pressure. The more that you attack it and begin to hurt teams, the more they want to get out of it.
Lagoon over to Escobar, kicked in the corner. And the shot no good by Gande Rosa. And the ball gets back to Florida.
Gande Rosa is a tremendous shooter and passer. Really, along with Horkler, a key cog on this basketball team. You see Escobar there, who we know can put up shots and score in a hurry. This zone defense, though, I like the strategy by Coach Driscoll. He wants to make Florida prove that they can knock down shots from the perimeter.
Nembhard to Ballard. Wow, the freshman has been sensational passing the basketball, and Ballard, meanwhile, has got the last 9 for the Gators.
And Taylor, every time Florida scores, it allows them to set up into their 3-quarter court pressure. Now North Florida has to try to speed up their offense with only 10 seconds left.
Off-balance three-pointer by Hendrickson, no good. Stay with UNF. How about this pass from Nembhard?
Well, Ballard that time just kind of sneaks in behind the defense. There's no communication on that particular end. Hendrickson has to be aware of where Ballard is. And Ballard, like you said, the only double-figure scorer, but he plays with the type of swag and confidence that I really love. You saw that last year. He puts up shots in a hurry, but he's been more productive and effective with the minutes that he's been given this year.
Plays with a little bit of an edge, right? A little bit of a chip on his shoulder, too. Nembhard committing his first foul. So Gators lead is 5. Ryan Coffey now checking in for UNF. They'll go about 10 deep tonight. Sams loses it, but rolls out to Coffey. This is Balagoon triple teamed. Aminu turnaround with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. No good. Good defensive possession by Florida.
Excellent defensive trip. They can switch 1 through 5. And that time North Florida tried to take advantage, but they could not because Florida also double teams the ball when it goes into the post.
For 12 in a row. But rebounded inside. And it'll stay with the Gators.
You think the coach has to tell Ballard to shoot? You think he has to, to say, you need to shoot the basketball? Listen, I like guys like that. I like guys that hunt for their shot, that play aggressively, not only defensively, but offensively as well.
Ballard had a career-high 19 in that victory against Stanford last week in the battle for Atlantis, where the Gators lost 2 of their 3 games. And Bassett turns around. Dante just checking in. It's no good, but another offensive rebound. And it leads to a 3 by Noah Locke. Gators cleaning up the glass in the early going, already with 12 rebounds.
Nice extra pass.
And it doesn't pay off with Horkler missing the 3 and rebounded inside by Allen. Gators pushing it again.
Beautiful.
And the finish, Dante Bassett, sophomore from Oakland.
The Gators are playing much faster tonight. I think it's a note that the rest of the Southeastern Conference should take. Before the defense gets set up, I think they have to press more on the offensive end. A lot of times you see teams in this league walking the ball up. If it's not there, it's okay to set it up. But offensively, try to score before that defense gets set.
Gators on a 9-0 run, make it 11-0. And suddenly, the Gators lead is a dozen.
That did happen quick, didn't it, Taylor? Nothing like your gazillion overtime game.
Might not get that tonight. Gators up 12. Escobar hot in the early going, but Locke and Locke again, treating that basketball like magma.
It's time for our SunTrust Dance Game.
Tomorrow night, we have a men's college basketball doubleheader for you. And number 6 Tennessee hosts Eastern Kentucky at 6:30 Eastern. Coach Cal and number 10 Kentucky then take on Monmouth at Rupp Arena. Both games are right here on SEC Network and also on the ESPN app, so you can watch them anywhere.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see both of those games, Taylor. Tennessee recovering off of that tough Kansas loss, and Kentucky top of KenPom ranking in their rebounding percentage. About 46% is what they out-rebound or what they rebound. And right now, you see Florida trying to rebound a little bit from not having a very good point guard, Taylor. Chris Chiozza is a guy that they're trying to miss. Listen, this guy brought so much to the table. Basketball IQ. He was sensational. His speed, Coach Mike White talked about it today, simply electric. And then you see him pop his collar a little bit. You know why? Because the young man had what? He had moxie. Game on the line. He was the guy who wanted the basketball. Nembhard is not Chris Chiozza, but I love what he brings to the table. Taylor, a little bit bigger in size, a very good distributor, but just a different type of player.
Yeah, Coach White raved about him early today, just that he can't get him out of the game. He is out right now, but he's playing over 30 minutes a game because he's just been outstanding protecting the basketball. Only 5 assists in the, or 5 turnovers rather, in the last 5 games. Horchler with another hook, and it ends that 11-0 scoring run by Florida.
Well, and it gives them a chance in North Florida and the Ospreys to really get set into their man-to-man defense. Changing defenses is something that Coach Driscoll will do the entire basketball game, never wanting to allow Florida to get too comfortable.
Shot on the wing there by Allen as the Gators were 10 of their last 13 before that miss. Escobar cools off a bit. He has 3 threes already in this first half. Pass picked off. Hudson can't buy a bucket at the moment, but nice putback there by Keith Stone.
Well, he didn't make the basket, but I'm sure Coach White will like the fact that Hudson got the steal. He wants him to give him more on the defensive end. That's what he's looking for, and particularly from Jalen Hudson.
Another turnover for the Ospreys. It's been the big difference this year is another turnover and then rejected inside by Hayes, but a foul call.
Yeah, Michael Carter with the turnover, Taylor. Listen, he's in a situation where he played and backed up Chris Chiozza last year. So Michael Carter probably thought he was going to get the majority of the minutes, but quite frankly just got beat out by Nembhard this year. And so right now there's a battle at that point guard position between Michael Carter and Andrew Nembhard. That's what you want, though. You want competition. You want the cream to rise to the top.
Sam's an 80% free throw shooter, making his first. That has been the big difference, though, getting back to Hudson, is watching this basketball team so far this year, Damian, without his offensive production.
Well, and you mentioned that he came off of the bench last year, or that he's coming off the bench this year. Well, he came off the bench probably for about half of the season last year, but had a chance to go test the waters a little bit. I'm hesitant to even say that because it's like every kid in college basketball tests the waters. And so the NBA gave him some feedback. Part of the feedback that they gave him was that he does have to show a better motor on both ends of the floor. They know he can score offensively.
That one too strong by Jalen, the former transfer from Virginia Tech, averaging over 15 points a game last season. 3 by Sam's no good, and a foul away from the basketball.
Foul on number 0, Noah Horchler. His first.
Goes on Horchler his first.
Florida basketball.
North Florida picked in the middle of the pack in the A-Sun. They're a team that really has to play about $500,000 worth of bye games every year, and so they go play where they need to go get a check, quite frankly. But the thing about Coach Driscoll is he doesn't change the way that they play. They play the same way that they're going to play against every other team.
Hudson, first bucket, and it's a 3.
Hudson for 3.
And we'll talk more about just the incredible travel associated with North Florida's team so far this season. They've only played 1 home game, lost in the Cancun Challenge Championship game last week to Jacksonville State as they turn it over here. And with the extra Euro step there by Allen, he draws the foul.
Yeah, that time Allen just using supreme athleticism to go from end to end. After this steal, look how he's basically outrunning the Ospreys with the basketball in hand. And that's why Coach White expects more from him on the defensive end as well.
Lambright called for his first foul as Allen, the senior from Little Rock, will shoot 2. He's the all-time leader free throw percentage in Gainesville.
Lesson learned for young players out there. Not only is the all-time leader for free throw percentage, but that's why he's top 23 all-time scorers for Florida. I say this all the time, Taylor. You want to score baskets, get to the charity stripe. Find a way to get the officials to blow the whistle. These are easy baskets. That's not as pretty as a dunk, but I believe it's 2 points.
Yes, it is.
23. I beg your pardon, number 24.
15-point lead for the Gators. Now 3-3 on the season after, as we mentioned, losing 2 of 3 in the battle for Atlantis last week. So it's a scrum for the ball down there.
I like that. Michael Carter displaying that he wants to get into the basketball game. Listen, practice yesterday was not a typical day before the game practice, Taylor. They went at it extremely hard.
Home run ball to Escobar. He's able to get it and somehow finish.
J.T. Escobar. Looked like a little bit of what you were just looking at the other night. A nice catch. And then he finished it too now, Taylor.
It's a go route for Escobar. Johnson, the extra pass in the corner. Bang! Okaro with the 3.
Like that. So for North Florida here, you've had some success outside, but I think they can have some success on the interior as well, in particular by getting Horkler the ball, and they go to Aminu on this trip.
Double teamed inside, and Aminu draws the foul. Gators red hot shooting the basketball so far tonight, especially beyond the arc. The latest 3 coming from Mike Okaru. Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, the SEC Nation traveling pregame show with Laura, Marcus, Paul, Tim, and Lauren will be in Atlanta for the SEC Championship game between #1 Alabama and #5 Georgia to break down everything from the gridiron to the grill for Week 14 of the college football season. SEC Nation presented by Dr. Pepper right here on SEC Networks, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Well, for Coach Driscoll, this is just one of 7 guaranteed games. You see, they already lost their first 3 of the season. They were in a fight with Dayton, had a chance in that first one of the season, lost by 15 to Penn State. Still have to play at the Gophers, go over to Tallahassee, and play at the Auburn Tigers at the end of December. This is a team that's only played 1 home game so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, you go to the A-10 and play one of their best. Then you go to the Big Ten, Horizon League. Then you're in the SEC for a little bit. Then back to the Big Ten and the ACC. Basically, they're playing anywhere, anytime. But Coach Driscoll made a good point. I don't know if there's anyone that plays in a league like they play in, that play the style like they're playing, that play the type of schedule that they play. Kudos to the Ospreys.
As a 3 is no good, but Johnson clears it inside. Gators still shooting from beyond the arc, and that one no good too. Now 5 of 11 from 3 is Florida has dominated the bench. We have a jump ball possession arrow stays with the Gators. And just to further that about North Florida, 3 of their first 14 games this season on the road.
Well, it's impressive, and what I like about it is I think that it helps prepare them for league play. Candidly, when you look at the A-Sun, there's about 5 or 6 teams who can win it. They're a team that can still win it amidst their schedule that they're playing.
And it's over the back. Basson is called for the foul there.
Substitution for Florida, number 13, Kamarius Hayes.
Florida dominating so far with bench play. How about this? 21-0 with bench points tonight.
Well, that came from practice yesterday. He's giving players opportunities. He's allowing them to compete for time. What did he say about Hudson in this particular shoot-around this morning? He said if they continue to earn their time, you get what you earn with Coach White.
That'll stay with North Florida as there was a deflection there. I know that Mike White agreed. A 14-point lead. Nice pass inside to Horchler. Horchler, the junior from Melbourne, Florida, with 6 points. Johnson at the other end with a nice mid-range shot.
Johnson.
Love Johnson's mindset. Just a hard worker. Does everything hard in between the lines.
Too strong by Escobar and cleared again by the Gators with the 6 minutes to go in the first half. Hayes gets trapped. Florida's lead is 14. And a quick move to the bucket, no good, but Hayes there to clean it up.
That's what he does. Offensive rebounds. One of only 4 to have 60-plus blocks in the season, so you know he protects the rim for you. He is just one of the key pillars of this Florida team, and I think he has to be the leader on this team night in and night out.
Conde Rosa for 3.
Well, and you saw Mike White, head coach of Florida, go to the bench right after that shot. I think he was upset about the fact that Hudson didn't get around on that basketball screen that time. You're going to have to play both ends no matter where you are, whether you're at the collegiate ranks or at the NBA level.
Tough pass by Nembhard inside.
Substitutions for North Florida, number 11.
Here's an inbounds play right here, and that time it wasn't good communication between Hudson and Hayes. The following trip, Hudson was involved with another play, and it's something that I know that Hudson can do. You see the staff, they're going to continue to push him and continue to make that something that is a priority for Florida Gators.
Showing a little bit of the handle again, and it's cleaned up off the glass. Just throw it up there, and Hayes will clean it up. Already more than 20 rebounds tonight for the Gators and 10 offensive rebounds in the first half.
Impressive.
Defense by Locke there, and he forces a turnover.
Taylor, the rebounds that you're talking about, we talked about the next game with Kentucky. Offensive rebounding wins basketball games. Look how Hayes keeps it up high so the defenders can't get it. And then you see the next time down, goes up again, and a nice job of going to the glass. Offensive rebounds, defending. Those are ways outside of scoring that you can get into the basketball game for young players.
Oh, the no-look pass from Nembhard.
That's a little Chiozza in that, wasn't it? I think Chris Chiozza would have approved.
I don't think you're missing much when you have a guy that can control the basketball like Nembhard, the fabulous true freshman, can, and Hayes now has 8. Nembhard, of course, from Ontario, Canada, but finished his high school career at Montverde Academy just down the road, where several Gators have come from. 3 ball, no good by Sams. as the Florida Gators have opened up a 17-point lead. And how about the passing from Andrew Nembhard?
Well, listen, they felt like that you were tired from that gazillion overtime. So here's a few passes to give you some energy and get you excited. And then look at Hayes down here. He never gets tired, period.
Dorian Oke, Antoine Walker. We will see you in just a few minutes at the half. We'll show you how Georgia is doing right now as they're at home against Kennesaw State. A touching story on a Florida soccer player as we, of course, are in the middle of Jimmy V week. What do you think so far of DeAndre Ballard?
Ballard's doing a terrific job shooting the three, slashing to the bucket, getting some easy opportunities for Florida. They need it.
TZ, doesn't look like we're headed to overtime. That's good, right?
Dari was with me, by the way. He was in it for the long haul. He, of course, did SEC Now afterwards, as well as he did the wrap-up show. He had to go into the wee hours of the night on Saturday night, so well, we should be all right tonight, Dari. Just a couple hours in.
And Taylor, I'm gonna ask Dari to talk to Antoine Walker about the passing. That's what he asked me. You know, he said, "Do you like the pass or the finish better?" What about these passes by Nembhard?
It's been sensational. He was a little sloppy with the ball in the first game of the season against Florida State, but 31 assists and 5 turnovers in the next 5 games coming into tonight. Already impressive. 7 tonight. And there's a 3 on the other end. As Ryan Burkhardt, the sophomore from St. Augustine, Florida, hits it.
Yeah, the sophomore can really shoot it. 180 pounds, about 6'4". That's what makes North Florida, the Ospreys, a challenge to guard at times, is their ability to shoot it from all 5 positions.
Florida foul on number 15.
Push off away from the ball on Isaiah Stokes. Stokes playing tonight for the first time as he tore his ACL in high school. He redshirted last year. He playing for the first time since before the battle for Atlantis after tweaking his knee. It's good to see him back on the floor for Mike White tonight.
Let me tell you, Taylor, he's somebody that could be on that football field. He does not like physicality. We saw that in practice yesterday. By far the most physical player on this Gator team.
Ballard had a great block on that last time down. Florida setting already a season high in offense for this half with 43 points and still 3 minutes left.
And we don't talk about it a lot, but you know, the bigs of Florida have been out, which is why Hayes has had to play so many minutes.
Ballard's been red hot in the first half. He's got 12. Rattles home for Sams at the other end. Gators lead is 15. Florida has West Virginia next week in Madison Square Garden as Michigan State coming here in the month of December. Schedule does not get any easier for the Gators as there is a tie-up underneath and North Florida will get it back.
I could have told you who was coming up with that ball.
On the opening position, North Florida basketball.
I'm telling you, Mr. Stokes is too easy. And you see Coach Mike White's own form of his platoon system, 5 in and 5 out. We talked about them searching, and look at the bench points and the production that we've seen, 26-3.
Outscoring the starters as well.
And this is what I like about Coach White. He takes guys in when they make a mistake, but he gives them another opportunity. You're going to have your chances. It's who wants it more right now.
Coffey with 10 on the shot clock, gives it up to Horchler.
Nice patience right now by the Ospreys, but they got to go.
Inside pass, and he did not beat the buzzer.
That's tough. That is tough. And you know what? I love the fact that they took time, because against defensive teams, quality defensive teams, it's going to take a little bit more time to score when their defense is set. My guess is that they may be going to the monitor to review and see if it was truly a shot clock violation or not.
As to the shot clock violation.
Let's take a look. You be the judge at home. I think it was a little too late. Correct call by the officials. No
No
basket.
basket. Shot clock violation. Florida basketball.
Horkler has been a rock so far, though, for Coach Driscoll, averaging over 14 points and 11 rebounds and 2 blocks per game.
He's incredible. He's incredible. Their most consistent player. Sam's as well. They're both interchangeable. But they haven't been shooting in particularly well. Those guys are 40-plus three-point shooters from behind the line. And that's what Coach Driscoll talked about, as they're suffering a little bit lately, not being able to knock down shots.
Kayvon Allen all the way in, can't finish it. Coffey with the rebound. Stay with the Ospreys.
Substitution for North Florida, number 10.
Taylor, it's interesting.
Rosa.
We talked about the absence of a lot of bigs because of injuries for the Florida Gators. So they have made a conscious effort to double team everybody, which is good, so they can practice. It's almost like their own form of a half-court press, which allows them to use their quickness where they suffer from size.
30-second timeout, Florida Gators. 30-second timeout.
And we were talking about Andrew Nembhard, terrific distributing the basketball.
Well, take a look here, right? Now, he's going to gather the ball. He's going to have it in his offhand in his left hand and have the wherewithal to look up, use that big 6'5" frame and throw it up to Hayes. That's much more difficult than it looks. And here tonight, with the opposing hand, a no-look pass into Hayes. That's why he had so many people excited about him coming to the Florida Gators, because of his size and his ability to distribute the basketball.
And look at that over there, 7 assists. Also, no turnovers. 38 assists, 5 turnovers in his last 5 games.
Listen, if you want to play, not just for Coach Mike White, but for any coach on any level, have those type of numbers where you can pass the basketball and make sure you take care of the basketball.
Way too many players in the way for that pass, and it ends up with a lay-in for Johnson. Pass almost picked off as well, as the Gators are playing terrific defense in this first half.
Wow. Tremendous activity by Mike Okaru. He has done a nice job. He's exemplifying a young man that wants to play. Now, he gets called for a foul on this particular play, but he's defended well. He's been active defensively. And if you're a coach, you don't mind that, going to help your teammate and actually getting the foul.
Eric Sands.
I think Coach White's message has been received so far tonight, and that is, look, if you're a great shooter, that's one thing, but if you want to play for me, you have to be able to play at both ends of the floor.
Taylor, when you're a senior, there is a tendency to feel like, I've done this for 3 years, I'm owed something. But it's just like life. You have to go out and earn it every single day, and that's what the seniors of Florida are realizing this year playing for Coach White.
Sams makes both free throws. And that's an offensive foul.
Florida foul on number 13, Jamarius Hayes.
It's Hayes' second. Third.
9th team foul. Substitutions.
So 19 fouls as well on Mike White's team, trying to improve to 4-3 on the season. I think he's a little surprised at some of the adversity that he's had to face so far this year. But like you said, those losses all to quality opponents. Picking the pocket is Okaro. And we have another jump ball, and Florida will get it back.
And that all started by Okaru again, right? Getting on the floor defensively, showing that he can be disruptive. You know, there's so many things that you can do outside of scoring the basketball, and that's what Coach White talked about yesterday in practice. Listen, this isn't scoring a basket. This is just sitting down in the stance defensively, giving everything that you have, going after loose basketballs. This is what you see a lot of time via March Madness with teams that get to the tournament. But if you want to get there, you have to do it now.
I can't get over what you said about Stokes being a football-looking player. I mean, 270-pound guy jumping on the floor for that one, and his teammate Kayvon Allen rises up for a bucket. wonder if Dan Mullen is watching this game tonight.
Don't let Coach White hear that.
50 points for Florida in the first half. Inside, and that's a long.
Aminu rushed at that time. Now, what you're seeing tonight, Coach White's going to see a lot more of. Because Florida switches 1 through 5, they're going to start trying to take, teams are going to start trying to take advantage of smaller guards.
Quick foul. As Florida has 12 seconds to go in the half. Who do you want taking this last shot for Florida before we go to the break?
Oh, the best shot maker, as far as the guy who can get a good look at any time on the floor, without question, is Kayvon Allen. They actually worked on it in practice. Shot clock's going down. He's the person they want with the ball in his hands.
Just 10 seconds. He
Good pass.
flies down the floor, and Johnson wide open for 3.
Johnson for 3.
And then it's picked off, and at the buzzer, no good.
That's the first half.
As Okaro does it again. How about the Florida Gators with 53 points in the first half, scorching hot, have a 20-point advantage.
I know that we kind of said that they were searching for their offense at the outset. We were just kidding, right? They found it. Are you kidding me? Electric offensive first half by the Florida Gators and unselfishness. Johnson with a finish.
53-33. Now let's send you to the studio and Dari Noka and Antoine Walker.
Oh, shimmy.
I like it. You have any desire to give him one since he called for it a minute ago? Or you gonna wait? You get a little one?
It's Florida. Give him a shimmy on.
You don't gonna shimmy Florida right now?
Not when you're up 20.
They're shooting 60%, 54 from 3. Not worth a shimmy?
Close. Let's see if they can finish the game. If they finish the,
Listen, I don't want to push you into this, but DeAndre Ballard might be worth shimmying for, too. He's played awfully well to this point. What are you seeing when you watch him?
A guy who's been the most consistent player for Florida over the first 6 games. Guy who's making his 3-point shots, slashing to the bucket. Coming into tonight's game, the only guy on the team that's averaging double figures. So he's having a terrific start to the season. You just got to get, Kayvon Allen and Jalen Hudson to get on the same page as Ballard. And Florida could easily be sitting at 5-1 or 6-0 right now if those two guys would play up to their capabilities.
Boy, you'd love to see Hudson get going a little bit. Hudson, of course, not in the starting lineup again, just 1 for 5.
Yeah, and you see Ballard's versatility in his highlights. He can shoot the 3, he can slash to the bucket. He does a lot of good things out there.
And then 7 assists for Nembhard, too. So good first half for the Gators. Meanwhile, Georgia taking on Kennesaw State. All dogs. Jordan Harris finds Rayshawn Harris, and it's a 19-point lead at the break. Meanwhile, tough news for Vanderbilt. Their freshman guard, Darius Garland, one of the top recruits in the country, out for the season after having surgery to repair a meniscus injury in his left knee suffered in Friday's game against Kent State. He had averaged 16 points a game in the 5 games he played this season, including 1 game in which he scored 33. A little bit later on SEC Now, you're going to tell us how they overcome that. We'll be back in a moment.
It's Bee Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
As we raise awareness during this Jimmy V Week, we tell you the story of Florida midfielder Lauren Evans. The sophomore didn't play a match in 2017, but was expected to contribute to the soccer team this fall. Instead, she spent the offseason and all this season fighting leukemia. Shelby Granith with the story of this determined young lady.
I just felt like I had a really bad stomach ache, like nauseous and headaches, and then a few days later, my throat started hurting and I was coughing a lot.
The thoughts were mono, strep throat, or dehydration. The actual prognosis was unimaginable. The Gators' 2017 season had just ended in the Elite 8 of the NCAA tournament, and suddenly freshman Lauren Evans was receiving life-changing news.
We're in the emergency room at Shands, and her parents are there by now, and they said, well, it's definitely leukemia. And we're just like, what? Like, it was just out of the blue.
Heartbroken their season was over, and now heartbroken for their teammate and the ray of light on this team. The Gators had to have faith that everything happens for a reason.
they told her if that had been left untreated, even for a week, she probably would have died. You know, at the time, we were all disappointed because we hadn't moved on to the Final Four. But I think about it now, and I think, you know, like if we had, that would have been a very short week. We would have gone immediately to Orlando, and maybe there wouldn't have been enough time for her to squeeze in doctor's appointments and all that kind of stuff, and she would have gone with us. So in a way, it was just such a blessing that we had that time and space for her to get checked out.
Still trying to process and wrap her head around everything, Lo lit up the room when she told Coach Burley she didn't know why all this was happening or how, but it was going to be one hell of a story.
Even before all this happened with Lo, our team was talking about that, you know, and then when we went down to South Carolina and we were in the locker room at halftime, we were like, it's going to be a hell of a story when we come back. And, you know, unfortunately, it wasn't a hell of a story in terms of our comeback in that particular game, but, I mean, it is a hell of a story when you think of how that translated into something that Lo and our team held on to during her recovery.
Throughout everything, Lo stayed incredibly positive and hopeful, even on the worst day.
January 20th, I got a really bad fever and I couldn't move my legs. And the doctors thought I probably wouldn't be able to move them again, and that was devastating. And then one day I was just sitting in my bed and my toes started moving, and they said once you see a little bit of movement, you know that it's all gonna come back.
Among the bad days, there were also those good days, like in February when Lo was well enough to attend a spring practice and see her teammates.
It was kind of like a dream come true. Just because they knew that, like, that was all I wanted, to come back, and just how happy they all were to see me, it just meant a lot.
Another good day was April 24th, the day Lauren Evans was told she was cancer-free. Then on June 14th, Lo rang the bell. Lo promised it would be one hell of a story, and she was right. But it's a story that is still being written.
I feel like there's still a story to come. This part of the story is like the beginning where I beat it. But I just want it to be like, at the end, I want to be like a starter and be able to tell my story when I'm finished playing soccer, like to the kids that are fighting it now, that they still have a chance and not to give up.
We were in the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament, all caught up in winning or losing that game. And then 48 hours later, someone's struggling for their life. And it's just, again, not something you'd ever wish on someone, but what a gift it has turned out to be.
10 months ago, Lauren Evans was diagnosed with leukemia. And 8 months ago, Lauren Evans was told she may never walk again. But she continues to beat the odds, just like she beat cancer. And the team is hopeful she'll return to the pitch by the SEC soccer tournament. So this hell of a story will be continued. For the SEC Network, I'm Shelby Granath.
No doubt the Gators obviously love Lauren so much, and the hope is that that motor that head coach Becky Burley was first attracted to in Lauren Evans will get Evans back onto the pitch in 2019. Gators have hit 7 of their 13 from downtown. That's the one that Jalen Hudson has hit. It's all Florida up by 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Florida offense has been found. North Florida hit some threes early, but the Gators got it going and hung 53 on the Ospreys in the first half. With Damian Fishback, I'm Taylor Zarzer. The former Auburn great used to shoot like this, and the ball handling was especially terrific in that first half.
Yeah, it was incredible on the half of the Florida Gators. We talked about their competition and who they played, but also they've been away from home. They were happy to be back in the confines of the Gators that were chopping at the bits in the first half.
Let's take a look at the good hands play brought to you by Allstate.
Well, listen, they had Allstate tight good hands in every way. Look at the extra pass. How many times do you notice a good pass leading to a good shot? Nice jump shot that time by Keontae Johnson. Here, you see good hands on the offensive glass. And most of the time, that was Kavarius Hayes. That's right. And also, he displayed good hands defensively. Listen, the Florida Gators had about as good of a first half as we've seen them have all season long.
They played 11 guys, 9 of them scored, and one of the 2 that didn't had 7 assists.
Oh.
And there's a turnover, and Hayes slams it in to start the second half.
Well, if you're Coach Driscoll, you are livid coming out of the half, and that's the first play of the game. This is what I was
shooting
discussing.
percentage there.
Yeah, Taylor, what impresses me is those last 3. 8.2 offensive rebounds, 29.3 bench points, and 12.2 assists, and they've already achieved all of those in the first half of play.
Darius Hayes with the interception and the dunk, and now it's Stone for 3.
So for Florida right now, I'm sure Coach Mike White said, forget about the score. And if you're the Ospreys, you hope that Coach Driscoll said that too. Both of these teams here in the next 19 minutes want to focus on getting better so they can hopefully transition into more games.
3 on the way by Sams is good.
Such a huge shot. I watched the Wright State game when they got down early, and Sams and Horkler really put the team on their back in that basketball game. They have the ability to knock down shots, in particular behind the three-point line when they can get hot.
And North Florida, barring a comeback tonight, will be 2-5 after this game. His lock shot is no good. But they do have the ASUN season in front of them. And this is a team that returned all 5 starters and has no seniors on the entire roster. Too strong by Horkler and Florida. Very quickly down the floor, Nembhard. This is picked off from Hayes. And the Ospreys get it back.
Yeah, that's where Hayes needs to continue to improve. He's got to be a better finisher at the rim. We talked about how the Gators started the second half, Taylor. He needs to be a better finisher, but I don't know if he can be much better defensively. And that man right there, Keith Stone, number 25 in white, I think is the guy who needs to take the next step for the Florida Gators. He's a stretch 4, but he's really a guard at that stretch 4 position. He needs to display and take advantage of some of those advantages that he has at the power 4 position.
Sams, tough shot off the glass.
That's what you want. He's got it going now. Garrett Sams, a career 39% three-point field goal shooter, can get to the rim as well.
Kayvon Allen, teardrop no good, and rebounded by the Ospreys. Tie up on the other end, and the possession arrow favors Florida.
You know, I love seeing that, in particularly because with small guards, we talked about it earlier, you struggle sometimes to defensive rebound against teams with bigger guards. But Kayvon Allen in this situation, Bryce Brown and Jared Harper at Auburn, Lamar Peters at Mississippi State, Tremont Waters. If you're a smaller guard, then you have to be disruptive on the defensive end. Use your speed and quickness as an advantage where you may have a disadvantage in height and length on the defensive end.
You just named a handful of terrific guards the SEC has this year, as it looks like Allen was poked in the eye there, and North Florida will run. Escobar with 3 threes early, can't buy one here. Oh, he's still having trouble with his eye as Florida
he gets the basketball.
Will go on offense, yep.
He'll get better real quick. That's what us players do when we get the ball in our hands.
Stone draws the foul.
North Florida foul on number 23, Carter Henderson.
Yeah, he runs into traffic that time. Not sure who hit him in the eye. But it looks like he's recovering okay. And like that as well, one of the best guards of all time, Allen Iverson, was great being undersized and attacking the rim.
Keystone makes the first free throw Thursday at 11 Eastern. It's Marty and McGee. They have you covered with everything that's SEC. You can never get enough of the M&M boys. Like everything else, you can see them live on the ESPN app from anywhere. Those are admittedly 2 of my closest friends, but I just don't know what my man McGee is doing with the hair. I mean, he hadn't gotten a haircut in months.
Well, if you want a guaranteed laugh to smile,
well, there's no doubt about that.
That's the show you have to watch.
Shot too strong by Aminu, and the Gators get it back on offense. 3-ball, bang.
Pretty.
DeAndre Ballard is hot tonight. He's got 15 now. The other end, good answer by Gande Arosa.
Gande Arosa needs to pick it up for his team. That's where the point guards, you have to pick and choose, look at the time and situation of the game, and Gande Arosa knows that his team needs him right now.
Gators shooting 60% beyond the arc tonight, up 23. Tomorrow night, we have a men's college basketball doubleheader for you when number 6 Tennessee hosts Eastern Kentucky at 6:30 Eastern. Then Coach Cal and number 10 Kentucky take on Monmouth at Rupp Arena. Both games right here on SEC Network and also on the ESPN app. You can watch them anywhere.
Well, and Kentucky better be ready because Monmouth will be hungry for a win, just like the Florida Gators have been tonight. And how have they gone about getting that win? Bench production, 34-3. DeAndre Ballard displaying his ability to score both away and at the rim. And then Keontae Johnson, his running mate, Batman and Robin off of the bench, really displaying their ability to score in multiple ways. You saw Johnson inside, and here he is with the trifecta. Florida Gators shooting the cover off of the basketball, which is what has led to their lead, as well as the bench production tonight.
59% shooting, 9 of 15 from 3, and you see the bench points outscoring the starters. Gators going deep, playing 11 players. And as we were mentioning, Damian, one of the 2 players that hasn't scored is Andrew Nembhard, who has 8 assists and no turnovers.
You know, it's interesting. You talked about the guards that I mentioned. I think that's the role that Tremont Waters of LSU is going to have to play this year as well. He's just surrounded by so much talent. Top 5 recruiting class. Skylar Mays has really picked up his game, and I thought that they really ran into a buzzsaw against Oklahoma State. Those are games that cannot get back, and particularly right now for the Southeastern Conference, they're going to have to continue to try to get those type of games. I thought LSU played well against Florida State, though, and it's a game that they should have won, but that's a team that I think is an NCAA tournament team.
Fish, can you go help us out and fix this net?
You want me to use the ladder, or you want me to just jump up, hang in the air, and fix it while I'm in the air before I come down?
Father Tom, not undefeated for you, huh? Let's look at how the SEC is doing against the other power leagues so far.
Well, and you see this is the overall winning percentage against all conferences, right? And you see the Big Ten and ACC, they have the challenge going on. They've been dominant. The SEC still right there. They're in the mix. But if the tournament started tomorrow, they're not where the Southeastern Conference wanted to be when we had the conversation at the beginning of the year. There is still much more work to do for the Southeastern Conference. And I think they need to continue to maintain that hunger to not just compete, but to get some of those victories as they continue.
Well, what's interesting is that record is fine, you know, as you look compared to the rest of the power conferences, as the Pac-12 is in there at 14-4. The problem so far for the SEC, Damian, has been some of the losses to non-power competition that we have seen in November.
Sure, and one of the reasons is, quite frankly, the SEC has went out and scheduled challenging games. South Carolina lost to Wofford at home. But Wofford, to me, will be an NCAA team. Coach Young has been there for 1 million years and has done a sensational job. But those are games that if you win, they're definitely feathers in your hat that the SEC has to come up with. Darius Garland goes down against Vanderbilt, loses against Kent State. Those are the games that you're going to have to come up with for the Southeastern Conference.
Escobar from 25, Gande Arosa rather, from 25 feet.
Well, this is a nice job of the dribble handoff, and you have to play the dribble handoff just like a screen. So there's a switch, just wasn't quite tight enough.
I'll not give him another one, as this one in the corner is too strong, and it's rebounded by the Gators.
For the Ospreys right now, if you can put together some stops, right? 4 or 5 stops in a row, get this basketball game into single digits, you give yourself an opportunity with an eternity of time left in this basketball game.
Locke feeds the paint. Nembhard, no good. Still searching for his first points tonight. Carter Hendrickson with the rebound.
So stop one. Now, if you're the Ospreys, you've been knocking down shots from the outside, but you don't want to settle. Try to get to the rim.
Horchler does it and scores.
Beautiful. Nice patience being displayed. Now let's see, as the Ospreys gain this confidence, can they continue to get stops on this end?
It's a 7-0 run for the Ospreys. Five left on the clock. Locke got it.
Outstanding jump shot. The Nike EYBL circuit actually shot 46% from behind the three-point line. So he was recruited to Florida to shoot the basketball.
And he was put in the lineup just a few games ago as Jalen Hudson went to the bench. So Locke's become a starter, and this is his 3rd straight time to lead the Gators out on the floor. We're talking about the SEC schedule in December does not get any easier for this conference. Look at the matchups coming up a week from Saturday. Gamecocks, the 7th-ranked Michigan Wolverines. Florida will host Michigan State right here in Gainesville. Kentucky and Seton Hall and Madison Square Garden. Auburn's got Dayton that night here on SEC Network. As a 3-ball is good by Gande Barossa. And then you see the Sunday schedule, Arizona and Alabama, and then Tennessee Gonzaga. How about that game?
Sure. Well, it's an opportunity, right? So in November, if the SEC were to get a grade, I'd probably give them a B-, right? Because the conversation and dialogue was the difference in this year was the Southeastern Conference was going to be the best in the country. They have not been up to this point, but they will have opportunities to prove that in December and the rest of this month as well.
Allen from 18 feet. Here's some great games coming up in the next few days before we get to a week from Saturday. NC State will play Vanderbilt. Florida's going up to play West Virginia in Madison Square Garden next week. This 3 way too strong by Ryan Burkhart. Johnson cleared by Hayes, who's been a rim protector tonight.
In practice yesterday, Coach Mike White stopped practice and blew the whistle. And you see Allen knock down that jump shot, Taylor. He said, we're working on habits. And so right now, with a 21-point lead, the question is, what type of habits will the Gators display as we go down the stretch here?
Pass, Horchler, another finish. Horchler now in double digits with 10 points and 3 rebounds.
Horchler has been constant from start to finish. And right now, the Ospreys, I think, need to ride Horchler, but not just from the outside where we know he can shoot it. I think they need to continue to pound it inside.
And a great pass to Hayes.
From Andrew Nembhard.
Nembhard now with a career-high 10 assists. Watching that guy handle the basketball is a sight to behold. Lay-in on the other end, no good. And Nembhard gets it back.
Hendrickson needs to finish that. I like the shot fake, but this is the end where they need to try to get back in it.
Allen again. Gators lead is 24. And that pass It's too strong. And it has been all Andrew Nembhard distributing the basketball tonight.
Does he ever look at his passes? He loves to throw the no-looks. I like this young fella. And you see Kayvon Allen saying, "You want us, coach? Well, here I am."
Cancer is universal.
Life-changing. Cancer is why I will never give up.
Cancer is something that's going to make me stronger. It doesn't define me.
I believe that they can come up with a cure. I think we're just this close.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
It's the most fulfilling thing I think we do as a company. 25 years ago, Jim Valvano launching it on this network on ESPN, awarding more than $225 million in cancer research. His family has been so active in that fight through v.org/donate. All of the donations go to cancer research. Just such a fulfilling endeavor. And I have to tell you, as a former Raleigh, North Carolina resident, pretty proud that they're going to name the historic Reynolds Coliseum, where they used to play their basketball games, Jimmy V. Court.
I think that's awesome. That not only is that awesome, but everything that he does on a personal level. My mother's a 4-time cancer survivor, and a very prayerful family is my family, so we thank God for that. But when you're going through something like that, it doesn't just affect you, but it affects your family members. And the fact that the Jimmy V Foundation has done so much, not only for the individuals that are affected by cancer, but their families as well, I think is what separates them.
Noah Locke just inside the three-point line. You know, I once attended a Florida game in Raleigh about 8-9 years ago and watched Chandler Parsons hit a 75-footer at the Horn to beat Jimmy V's old team, the NC State Wolfpack. So the Gators have had some success with Jimmy V's old stomping grounds. And that's the key this year, is to get back to the NCAA tournament the third consecutive year and make some noise once they get there. I know right now Mike White is trying to establish an identity with this basketball team.
And games like this help to formulate an identity, right? Look at their body language. Look at how they communicate with each other on the bench, jumping up to the huddle. Defensively, the energy they have, helping one another. That's something that he's created now in his 4th year at Florida.
White spending 4 years at Louisiana Tech. Came so close to the Final Four 2 years ago.
Substitution for Florida, number 15, Isaiah Stokes.
And as you said, one of the most respected men in this game.
Well, the dialogue and conversation about the Southeastern Conference occurred quite a bit in that 2016-17 year, right? We've heard it this entire season, but when you've got 3 teams in the Elite 8, you have Coach Frank Martin in South Carolina, the surprise of the year, that really overshadowed the job that Coach Mike White did, and then was able to get to the Final Four. Obviously, Coach Cal does a sensational job, and that has just spreaded through this entire conference. The job that Coach Conzo Martin did last year at Missouri, when you have the all-NBA player go down.
Only playing a couple games.
Yeah,
right?
it's been infectious throughout the entire league.
Stokes with the finish at the other end, and trying to handicap what's going to happen in late March, early April is almost impossible after what happened last year with Loyola Chicago, with South Carolina the year before that.
And these Florida Gators against Texas Tech as well. But what you do know is that the only way you get there is what we just discussed, Taylor, which is the SEC got 8 teams in because of the Big 12 SEC challenge that they won and because of the work that they did in the non-conference schedule. Right now that's being led by the ACC and Big 10. The SEC will have to pick it up if they want to match that number of teams this year.
Allen with a nice save there. And the Gators get a fresh 30 seconds. They don't need it, though. Locke gets another 3, and he's got 13. career high now. The freshman from Randallstown, Maryland. Had an injury there to Ezekiel Balagoon.
Anthony Jordan basically set his time out to allow the injured player to get out, and now we'll resume.
Ospreys making a quick move to the bucket with Escobar's shot falling short. And the Gators run and lock this time too strong.
Orkla has been a bright spot tonight for North Florida.
Trying to establish position in the fadeaway. How about that?
Beautiful.
Gators lead is 26 as they try to improve to 4-3 on this young season. Stokes shot is too strong, but it's cleared again for the Gators. Hudson got it.
That is one thing that the country, not just Coach Mike White and Florida Gator fans, but the country knows that Jalen Hudson can do. The leading scorer, returning leading scorer, even off of the bench half of the year from last year.
I think just about everyone that follows Florida is saying, man, if they can just get Hudson going.
Oh, I'm sure that's what Coach Huggins and Coach Izzo are saying as they see that game coming.
Wait one more game.
Like Coach Driscoll said, we wish the best for him, but we hope he doesn't get it going against us.
Stokes had a block at the other end. Block goes in there and scores again. Setting a new career high each time he scores, and Escobar's three is too strong.
Now this is where it gets tough for the Ospreys. You look at the scoreboard, you're down 31 points. And so the key is you have to try to stick to your habits, because we talked about it at the beginning of our broadcast. When they get into the ASUN play, they're going to play different caliber teams. You won't play a lot of Florida Gator teams, and so the habits they form now will be the same habits that helped them win that league.
3 ball for Keith Stone. Matching his career high. He also had 10 against the Sooners last week. The Gators are having a heck of a night shooting the basketball. Believe it or not, at 60% shooting tonight with 6:36 to go before they put a bow on this one. Okay, in case you missed anything, don't blink. Here we go. All 21 three-pointers tonight for the North Florida Ospreys and the Florida Gators. Lightning fast. It's almost like it's serendipity. Gators, Ospreys, raining threes. Mostly the Gators, up 34.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot. What was more exciting? That little overtime game of football players going around hitting each other, or those threes from the Florida Gators just raining, just...
That package that Craig and company just put together in the truck, that wins right there. That was if you can play at that kind of pace, that's as exciting as it gets here on the great SEC network. Florida will improve to 4-3. Just more than 6 minutes from now, as North Florida is going to fall to 2-5, only having played 1 home game so far this season. 3 on the way is too strong by Carter Hendrickson. And cleared for Florida once more.
And here you were thinking, Taylor, that they were going to come with a glacially slow pace.
Don't blink. I have to tell you, the most impressive thing that I've seen tonight, as you take a look at Jalen Hudson, is this man inbounding the basketball. Andrew Nembhard has not scored in this game, yet he has 11 assists. As that one rattles off the rim, but he doesn't seem to have any care about his stat sheet, especially his points scored. He loves to distribute that basketball.
Sure, and that's something that will stem from teammate to teammate, right? He's going to be an impressive leader. Frankly, I think he's a guy that will do good to stay here at least a couple of years. There was a lot of dialogue about him being a one-and-done guy because of his size. They love that at the next level. And he has a stroke as well. Shoots about 40% from the three-point line. But I think it will do him good to stay and continue to lead this team. But we'll see how the season goes.
Bassett had a great block in there. Hudson ahead, a little too strong for Johnson. Florida's played 11 players. 10 of them have scored. Everyone but Nembhard, who has 11 assists. But look at the other trio of freshmen.
Well, they've done an outstanding job, right? Top 18, 19 recruiting class last year, and he's followed it up this year with a top 10 recruiting class coming in for 2019.
Jared Sams has 13.
Ospreys have some critical pieces that I really like. Hoykler and Sams, I think both are interchangeable, both offensively and defensively, but I do think they need to continue to go inside just as much as they shoot from the perimeter.
Hudson has one rim out. Gators will be in Madison Square Garden a week from today against the West Virginia Mountaineers as they run it here, and that one a little too strong.
Beautiful
Hoykler
pass.
on a give and go, yep.
Nice job of slipping the screen and good timing. I think you're right when it comes to Nembhard. I won't compare him to a Jason Kidd, but his mindset is similar. He is the essence of a pass-first point guard.
Put up one shot tonight. Here's the second. Got it.
Looks good.
Andrew Nembhard for 3.
First bucket of the game comes with under 4 minutes to go. De Rosa. Inside to Hoykler for the finish.
And that's what I'm talking about. Gonde Rosa, Hoykler, Sams, I think are three key guys that obviously have been proven. As you mentioned before, they do not have a senior, so the future is bright for the longest tenured coach in the ASUN, in Coach Driscoll.
Hoykler leads all scorers with 16. They're the only team in the country that returned all 5 starters that does not have a senior on its roster. That's it. Too strong.
And that's the difference. There's a difference between that junior and senior year. There's a difference for an athlete that knows it's his last time going through the season.
The story of the night tonight for the Gators has been the three-point shooting. 14 of 26, over 50%. And 8 different Gators have made it splash. Tonight, after Temple, Missouri at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, the SEC Now team is set to recap all the hoop games and talk more about the SEC championship game between #1 Alabama and #5 Georgia. No one covers the SEC like we do. You can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. Damian Fishback, Auburn Tiger. Who wins between Alabama and Georgia? Who do you pull for between Alabama and Georgia?
Well, I'm so glad you asked because there's a team that's playing that championship game that scores about 10 more points per game. They average about 60 more yards per game. And they have competed against their assistant coach 16 times and have beaten them every single time. I think the answer to that question is very simple. Now, you're not going to get me to say what I think Bama fans would want me to say, but I will say this. I expect the Tide and Nick Saban to come.
Why do we need to wait for SEC now?
Period.
We can just get all this analysis right here.
Watch out, Spears and Tebow. I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming, Laura. That's right, I'm coming. Paul, you're too much. I can't hang with you. He's too much.
Yeah.
Football genius.
Take Fish to the Dome. SEC Nation on Saturday. I'm going to go over to Columbia and watch the Gamecocks and Akron play. South Carolina has a makeup game, if you will, from a hurricane earlier in the season. Cole Kublik, Don Davenport now will be on SEC Network alternate at noon Eastern on Saturday, so we're excited for that. But should be great. Alabama and Georgia in Atlanta, rematch of the national championship from last year. Saw that Georgia was ranked 4th tonight in the rankings. Gators finished strong in football this season, whipping Florida State in Tallahassee on Saturday as Mr. Stone draws the foul there.
What do you think? You think Seminole fans give them time to build a program?
Oh boy, I'll tell you, Willie Taggart had a tough first season, didn't he? Hamilton and company looking good on basketball.
He's done a sensational job, and that's why I say give him time, because there were rumors, right? There were conversations about Leonard Hamilton at that time, and he's done an outstanding job at Florida State, from recruiting classes to the Elite Eight last year to ACC championships. And they are fortunate to have him, as Florida is fortunate to have Coach Mike Wright.
Three way too strong by Burkhardt. So Gators put the bow on this one. Lock in the corner. He's been outstanding. Leads all scorers with 18.
For the Ospreys, this is one of those tapes. You watch a little bit of the first half, and then you throw it away. This is a game where, not sure if they were a little fatigued. They actually had a couple of guys that weren't shooting around last night when I came in to see them. They had to have classes late on Monday, so they drove down with their head coach. And just second half, just Florida was just too much.
That's what the Gators have coming up. Mountaineers a week from today in Madison Square Garden, Michigan State. Here in Gainesville on December 11th, and they play Butler again. Just lost to him down in the battle for Atlantis at the end of December.
Yeah, that'll be a huge game as well, an opportunity for them to redeem themselves. A tight game from the finish, but Konate and West Virginia, as well as Ward and Langford at Michigan State, will be an outstanding opportunity that's right around the corner for the Gators. Can't wait to see those two matchups as well.
Drew Fava, Matt Krause. They come in the game here to finish things up and get a big ovation.
1 minute, just under a minute remaining.
It's in and out, we have a foul underneath.
Florida fouls on number 15, Isaiah Stokes.
Florida doing all of this and still have a couple of guys that are out in Gak, Chase Johnson. One of the reasons why Kavarius Hayes has had to place, there they are right there, Gak to the left, Chase Johnson to the right. Bring two different sets of skills to the table.
Well, Florida could get to 100 still.
Yeah, they'd have to make a 5-pointer.
You don't think they'll
Coach
shoot
White
it twice?
wouldn't allow them to shoot it twice.
But they'll shoot it once. Fava for 3.
If the Ospreys turn it over here, and the official called the jump ball.
Sophomore walk-on from Baltimore, Maryland, beyond the arc.
That's right. You get your opportunity to get in the basketball game. That's exactly what you want, and you see that bench elated on the sideline.
Burkhardt. hits the three, and with 25 seconds to go, the Gators will put a bow on this one. Improve to 4-3 on the season. North Florida falls to 2-5. Gators have been trying to find their offensive identity all season. They scored 98 tonight on 56% shooting.
Yeah, outstanding job. Shooting cures a lot of ills, but the defense was there. We talked about how solid that was. We'll see if the Florida Gators can carry that over. On the other hand, for the Ospreys, this is one they'll have to let go, pick up where they left off in their previous games and try to get some more momentum going.
You carried me, my friend. This was a joy.
Well, that's like Scottie Pippen saying Michael Jordan carried him. Are you kidding me? This is a team thing, man, and you're Michael.
Gators have all of their players scored tonight, beating North Florida 98-66. For Damian Fishback and our entire crew, I'm Taylor Zarzour from Gainesville. Now let's send you to the studio in Charlotte. Here's my friend Dari Nowkhah.